Well, Ryan, congrats on the big
Thanks,
win.
buddy.
What's it feel like to get this win in Arizona after not be able to get it done back in October?
Man, it felt good. Obviously, it was really close, and at the end there, I'm like, fuck, that's a good toss-up, I felt like I did more damage, but it felt so good considering the last fight. If I would have had a fight, I lost, but it was a, back and forth, or even we went the whole damn rounds, but last fight was just, under a minute. It's just anticlimactic, just to go out there and have a, exciting heavyweight championship 5-rounder with a tough dude in Arizona. I wanted that bad.
You kind of alluded to it. You thought it was kind of a toss-up. How confident were you before the judges' scorecards?
Man, I'm never confident going to the judges. It's the first time in my life that I was hoping that they weren't scoring it for the wrestling. I was rocking it. Thank you. I was rocking them pretty good. With my punches, I was seeing everything. I underestimated his clinch and his body lock. He kept stepping in front of me, this weird deal, and he was stronger than I thought. I've never been picked up like that, really. But I just told myself, keep getting up, you're making him tired, and then keep throwing those strikes, At the end there, he was just holding on, and I probably 20 unanswered elbows to his head, Those can't be ignored. And so when we went to the scorecards, I was like, who knows?
I think online a lot of people thought it was 2-2 going into the final frame. So how were your corners being honest with you between rounds, and what did they tell you going?
Yeah, they said it was 2-2. We win this round, and it was weird for me because third round I got that takedown pretty easy. I ran that single, but he's really strong. His hips are really strong, and so I couldn't really blast double him and try to put him on the cage. He was just he's kind of shorter, stocky, and he had good hips there. So we knew it was 2-2. They told me it was 2-2, and so when he had that body lock, I was like, I just got to do damage, And I felt him kind of, on one of those elbows, he was kind of, felt it a little bit, and I'm like, just keep him rolling.
In October, it wasn't really the Arizona fighters' night. Now it's Henry won, Benson picked up the big win, and then you picked up the win. So what'd you make of the crowd? And
Sullivan did too.
Yeah. So what'd you make of the performance of all the Arizona fighters?
Man, it was good. We needed that, and I'm super happy for Sully. He came in. He's a beast, man. He's going to be fighting for this championship pretty soon at 205. Give him some time. He's young, 25 years old, but man, he's light years ahead of where I was when I was his age. And I'm glad he's getting some exposure now, and I'm glad Benson won. It's nice when we don't have a lot of fights here in Arizona, these bigger fights, and especially with Bellator, second in a long time, to come in here and have that crowd get behind us and then get a win for them. It's not only for us, man. We've been here forever, wrestled in front of these guys, and started our mixed martial arts career here.
And finally, they also announced your next fight. I think a lot of people just assumed it might be Fedor, the retirement fight, but you're fighting Cheick Kongo in Paris, of all places. So what do you make of that fight?
That's a left turn right there. I thought for sure it was going to be Fedor in Russia and all that kind of stuff. Unfinished business, right? I always wanted to get that fight back. And he was talking so much shit, from after. I poked him in the eye. I'm like, dude, there's video of you wincing, and it's in your nose, And then, again, it came up, nice fight, but I'm going to beat your ass in Paris and all this bullshit, whatever. So, yeah, I like that fight. I've been asking for that fight forever. I wanted to run that back before I was going down to light heavyweight. But so now we get to do it. Comfortable at this weight, and I'm no longer, going back and forth. And so I'm going to be even better coming out heavyweight because I just fought at light heavyweight in October and then put on, that weight to fight, in January. And so now I'm a heavyweight, man. So I can just actually get into my body.
Actually, was just about to ask about that, so to follow up on it, I mean, how did it feel out there now, being back at heavyweight, especially after kind of having to go that back and forth?
Man, it felt good. I was just telling my coaches, this fight week and stuff, like yesterday, weigh-in day, you weigh in and it takes about 4 hours before you can even eat, because you're, you got to get the water back in and all that. And so you're really kind of even barely getting going again on Saturday at noon, right? Getting replenished and stuff. And so I felt good on Friday. Today I woke up, I'm like, man, I feel strong, I feel good. And I can tell in there, taking shots, he hit me with a couple good shots with nothing, and I felt fast, and I obviously feel strong in there. So, heavyweight's my jam now.
We talk a little bit about how good of a night it was for the Arizona fighters. For you in particular, I mean, was it nice? Was it extra sweet for you to exercise some of the demons from October?
Oh, for sure, and there's a belt at the end of the tunnel, the heavyweight championship belt. Against a tough guy, a guy that, I was a 3-1 underdog in that fight, coming in here and knocking off one of those, people are saying one of the better heavyweights out there, and he was, and he's great, but to go out there, get that belt around my waist, I think it made up for that last fight here, and so this is where I want to be, heavyweight.
I mean, you just mentioned the odds. Did it feel to you like people were counting you out?
Yeah, for sure. MMA is a weird, fickle sport. They can look at your last fight, even though it's big guys, small gloves throwing at each other. We're all the best in the world, but you take a little slip back and people write you off. They don't look at your body of work. It's what have you done for me lately? And I always knew like I was going to feel good coming up. At heavyweight, it's where I wanted to be, and so I saw those odds. I'm like, awesome. They're counting me out right now. Now's the time to, shut everybody up and keep this train rolling because I know I'm, one of the best in the world and I can be at any given night.
Last thing from me, I mean, to have your next fight booked pretty much right after one ends is a little bit unusual. Did you know ahead of time that was sort of the plan, or were you kind of just going with the flow right now?
Not at all, man. Like you were saying, you were hearing rumblings about Fedor in Russia and all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, guarantee, Fedor's going to step in there and whatever. But my manager grabbed me and he's like, hey, Kongo in Paris in May. I'm like, okay. It's actually nice. It's not like I'm getting any younger, right? I'm 38 years old and, I had a fight in October, obviously here tonight in January, running again in May. Let's just rack them up, and so I'm excited about that fight. Like I was saying earlier, that's a fight that I always wanted to run back just because of the no contest, and the shit talking, and I'm excited, getting, travel a little bit. I've been doing that, my whole career out in different countries, so haven't been to Paris.
Congrats.
Hey.
You landed a big combination early on in this fight, and I just want to know what was going through your mind. You closed the gap. You saw Moldavsky was wobbling a little bit.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I knew I was trying to feel him out, and when we watch tape and everything, he's good at, when you disengage, he throws. And so I didn't know how hurt he was. And so going in there, I didn't want to just stand in front of him and start trading because that's, we plan on like stick and move, until I actually felt his strikes and saw his strikes. And I'm like, I'm good wherever. But I think I tried to take him down a little bit. I figured I could, get my ride and end it on the ground. But he survived. And if it was a 3-round fight, I would have thrown kitchen sink at him. It's a 5-round fight, championship fight. So, I was just trying to be composed.
You mentioned the championship rounds. It looked like Moldavsky, especially after that fourth, with how much control you had, was gassed. And I just want to know, how are you feeling as well? Does being in the state of Arizona, your home state, does the crowd give you a little bit of an extra oomph going into that final round?
Yeah, a little bit. I wanted to do it obviously for myself and my coaches and people that put in time and work with me. But yeah, man, and it helped a little bit. My family and friends are here, hometown crowd. I hear them like, come on, get up. And, I was trying my hardest and I knew I was going to fight till the very bitter end, and I think that's what won me the fight. He was tired. I was pretty damn tired at some points too, but I knew if I just kept working, I had the potential to come out with a win.
Hey Ryan, I had the pleasure of interviewing CB Dalloway earlier this week. I was just wondering, we talked a little bit about training camp and you doing a 5-round walkthrough earlier this week of the fight. I was just wondering what it means to have a Sun Devil wrestling teammate in your corner. What can you say about that?
Man, we've been roommates and I've trained with him every day since 2003. Literally every single day in wrestling, battled each other. Then we just went into mixed martial arts, and so been going with that dude for 20 years about, and we have a good group. A lot of those guys went into MMA, Kane, CB, Aaron Simpson, John Moraga, Clifford Starks, list goes on, and now we got guys like Sullivan Cauley, was on this card, ASU wrestler. So those guys in that program, man, they've bred some warriors for sure, and those guys will always be by my side.
And CB said that the champion is going to show why he's the champion in the championship rounds. You think that you did that effectively tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what won that fight, you know. I went out and won the 4th and 5th, you know, championship rounds. Or was it the 3rd?
Yeah, you won the 4th and 5th.
Okay, yeah. You know, so I knew when I started getting taken down, like in the 2nd, I was like, all right, it's going to come down to the end. I know I'm going to go. I'm not going to quit, you know, and I'm looking over. You know, I always look over and I see him, and he's, you know, pretty damn tired. I'm like, I can steal this away. You know, I just got to keep going forward.
And like you just said, you guys seem to be a bit tired going into the 5th round. Do you think that the crowd has any effect on the gas tank? When you hear the Bader chants, the USA chants, does that give a little added motivation to keep on pushing?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. You know, I don't need a lot of, you know, more motivation, but honestly, you know, when you hear, it's not just you in there, you know, you could just be like, oh man, I'm kind of tired. Maybe I have this, I can just chill, you know. But when you hear people that are invested in you, your coaches, your training partners, and then the whole crowd, you know, come on, you can do this, do it for us kind of deal. Gives you some motivation, you know, and that's why I was like, kind of got locked up in that 5th round. I'm like, I got to hurt this dude, you know, I can't move. This guy's strong, but I'm going to hurt him and go. I'm not, you know, I'm going to go out like that and see what happens.
Hey Ryan, congrats on the win. I talked to Benson about this earlier, so I'll talk to you about it. So your place in Arizona MMA, I know you said you're getting older. I know you're obviously not ready to hang up yet or like completely look back on your career. But does it mean something to you, you know, that you can fill a house in Arizona, that when you list Arizona fighters for history, your name comes up quickly, if not first? Does that mean something to you, like really being the guy that is kind of the face of MMA around here?
Hell yeah, you know, it's just, yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird because, I mean, I have 39 fights now, you know, some not on my record because Ultimate Fighter and all that, and I'm like, how the hell do I have that many fights? You know, I feel like I'm 5 years into my career, you know, even though I'm freaking pushing 40, you know, but you know, I've never really like looked back, you know, at my career, and you know, sometimes I got to remind myself and like, hey, look at who you've beat, look at what you've done, you know, and so for me, it was very, very important to come back to Arizona after that last fight and have a redo, you know, win, lose, or draw, just go out there and fight my ass off and show everybody what I'm all about, you know, and there's plenty more I want to get done, you know, before I'm done, and definitely solidify myself not only in Arizona, but the whole sport.